Size matters, no matter what people say, and hand size is no exception. Unfortunately, I have small hands, and it comes with inconveniences.
Come on. Ah, damn it.
I can't swipe across my phone.
Let me swipe.
Daily chores can get real difficult.
Ah, frick. Are you kidding me?
And I always lose at rock, paper, scissors.
Rock, paper, scissors. What? How do I keep losing? Ah!
But the biggest inconvenience of them all is typing on my keyboard. I knew that I would have to take matters into my own hands and build a tiny keyboard for myself.
You're perfect. Yes.
Now, I may not have the world's smallest hands, but as a challenge, I like to attempt and build the world's smallest keyboard. There's already a lot of tiny keyboards out there, but the one that caught my eyes was the Adafruit's mini keyboard. They claim to be 4.5 inches by 2.4 inches and has all the necessary keys that you would find on a regular keyboard. So our goal is to build a keyboard smaller than the Adafruit's. Now, is this the world's smallest keyboard? I have no freaking idea. I just want to make a tiny keyboard. But if you do find a smaller one than this, leave a comment down below. I actually read all your comments, so please be nice. Before we build a keyboard, we should understand how a keyboard circuit actually works, and I think I know the perfect way to find out. First, let's set the mood and undress the keyboard. Hey circuit, what you doing? Tell us what turns you on. Hello? Hello? Am I getting ghosted by a keyboard? Come on, you said you were tired yesterday too. Whatever. I'll just read the wiki and learn it by myself in the washroom. Okay, jokes aside, a keyboard circuit is pretty simple. It's essentially two wires that connects and disconnects, controlled by the user. The connection is made when you touch the two metal contacts together, and this allows electricity to flow through. A keyboard switch is exactly like these two wires, but the two metal contacts are inside the switch. Pressing on it touches the two metal contacts inside together and allow electricity to flow through. Now, a keyboard circuit obviously doesn't have an LED inside for detecting switch presses. Oh wait, but it does have LEDs. It has a shit ton of RGB LEDs, but you get my point. Anyway, the keyboard has a processor instead of an LED for detecting switch presses, and when the processor recognizes that the switch is pushed down, it tells your computer to type the key. Talk is cheap. Let's build something. Here's a keyboard circuit that I made for demonstration, where we have our single switch from before, but now it's connected to the processor, and this processor is connected to the computer via USB. So if I press on the switch, it should type the key that I programmed. Nice. We can also reprogram it to type entire sentences instead of just a single character. Notice how the switch can be replaced with anything, like the two exposed wires that we used before, as long as it can make a connection. And you can get really creative with this. But hold on, JK.
Hold up, wait a minute.
What is the processor actually doing?
Because it looks like it needs to sense the electricity flow and measure the voltage when the switch is pressed and turn that voltage level into a digital signal inside the chip for the processor, but it'll need some code to make decisions on what to do with these digital signals and package those decisions into data packets that our computer can understand and send these packets to our computer through USB to indicate that a key press happened so that our computer can type it.
Yeah, we're just going to label this entire thing firmware and sweep it under the rug and not deal with it in this video. But if you do want to deal with it, check out my GitHub, just-kim, which has all the source code and design files. Now, you're probably thinking, that's great and all, but our keyboard has not one, but over 40 individual keys. Well, that certainly is an issue since this processor only supports up to 20 keys. I know what we can do. Instead of using only one processor, we'll use two and connect two USB cables into our computer. Now we can support up to 40 keys. And guys, I know what you're thinking. I obviously miscalculated and we actually need 3 processors.
4 minus 1, that's 3.
Since there's a total of 43 keys instead of 40 on our keyboard, and we'll need to connect 3 USBs into our computer. Okay, that's a silly idea, of course. We're not going to connect 3 USBs to our computer just for a single keyboard, unless we use a USB hub. No, that's a stupid idea. We're not doing that. But instead, I'll give a quick rundown of how the circuit can handle multiple keys using numpad as an example. Here's a numpad matrix where the switches range from 1 to 9, and each switch has a unique position. For example, switch 6 has column 3 and row 2 as its unique position, and our processor is able to recognize this. But more importantly, notice how we only need 6 pins from the processor instead of 9 pins for detecting the 9 switches. This idea can be expanded for our keyboard with 43 switches, where we see that the circuit only needs a total of 15 pins instead of 43 for each individual key. There's also a list of procedures happening in the background, such as scanning, anti-ghosting, and anti-masking, but won't be explained here. Instead, we're just going to call this entire thing embedded systems and sweep it under the rug. Now that we understand our keyboard circuit, let's go build one. Nice, we have a fully assembled keyboard circuit. Look how tiny it is. Let's type some keys.
Huh?
Why is it typing multiple characters and they're out of place? Oh, there's a bug on my firmware. These two values are supposed to be swapped. Reprogramming again with the fixes? Perfect, works as expected. But it kind of feels naked typing on this keyboard. Let's fix that.
NANI?
Yeah, so I didn't realize these tactile switches don't have fixed orientation.
Helicopter, helicopter.
Check it out, I'm typing M, but if you turn it around, it looks like you're typing W. But if you press it...
Huh?
Wait, that's not supposed to happen. By the way, I ended up making a second keyboard and fixed the messed up orientation. I put additional material on one of the sides and it prevents it from turning. Now, let's measure our keyboard size for comparison. 102.5 by 32.5 by 14.7 millimeter cubed. Not bad. It's less in footprint area compared to the Adafruit's keyboard, as well as smaller in volume, but much bigger than my pencil. See? Bigger than my pencil. The height of our keyboard, and in turn, the volume, could have been much smaller, but I decided to increase the height for better ergonomic. Guess where I got the inspiration from? Now, we could call it a day and end it here, but I want to make this keyboard proper. So, the last thing we need to do is give our tiny keyboard a proper case. Let's assemble the new case and put some rubber feet underneath. With that, the keyboard is finally complete. Alright, let's see how fast I can type using our new keyboard. 21 words per minute? Oh man, I can already hear my manager screaming at me. I'm going to be behind so many Jira issues. And of course, we need to ask the age-old question. Can it run Doom? No, of course not. It's a keyboard, not a PC. But we can play Doom using it. Since Doom doesn't use WASD keys for movement, we need to make a minor adjustment, where the WASD keys will be reprogrammed to be arrow keys instead. Okay, here we go. Wow, this brings back so many memories of how I never played Doom. I was more of a Final Fantasy VII guy. Other things you can do with this tiny keyboard include having a conversation with ChatGPT.
I'm sorry to hear that you were fired. However, as an AI language model, I'm not capable of taking anyone's job.
Liar!
Playing your daily Wordle. And even writing the entire script for this video. Although, I would not recommend it typing at 21 words per minute. Another great thing about this keyboard is that it's super portable and fits perfectly into your pants. Now, you can show it off to all your coworkers on how tiny your keyboard is.
Look, Nibbles, it's a tiny keyboard. It's perfect for you.
I work from home, so Nibbles is technically my coworker. She's the meow lead of my engineering team. And look, the keyboard finally fits my hand. Okay, if you enjoyed this video, please leave a like and subscribe. I'd really appreciate it. Thanks for watching, and see you next time.